who did just such a fantastic job this year of taking care of everything. We started, kind of early and all over the place. There was a long period of time in the spring where we didn't know what was going to happen. There were a lot of questions, and I started freaking out, and I assumed that, like me, most of you guys were also in a little bit of a, uh-oh, there's six weeks or something without any announced head coach. We had no clue what was going to happen, and I am just so grateful for you guys for, as soon as we found out we had something to act on, everybody just put their heads in, and we got to work and made such an incredible season for these young men, and I am so eternally grateful to all of you, because we wouldn't have been here without you. So first and foremost, to all of our parents, thank you. During our season, our killer parent board opened up the entire state of Ohio season with our home tournament. Did a fantastic job. We got so many compliments on how well that was run. From referees, other teams' coaches, everybody thought it was just so smooth, and that's entirely thanks to you guys. All through the season, a lot of changes to our schedule, a lot of ups and downs, and you guys just stayed at it and did such an incredible job. And the head of that group, who has kept us all together, going on 6 or 7 years now at St. X, is Melissa Meyer. Melissa and Ed have done such a phenomenal job. She's been with us since I was a junior, I think, was when Braden first came to the school. So I've now graduated from college, and she's still here. And has 2 more years in the tank, so I'm sure that the two of them are just so excited to continue to help, man. That's great. But she did such a nice job of getting all the parents together and getting people jobs that suited them, finding people who were good at social media to take care of our social media, and people who were good at she found people's gifts and gave them good roles within our community to help support. So Melissa, thank you, and thank you for all of your work this season. You're both incredible, and we really appreciate you. And she enjoyed so much. Talk about all the wonderful members of our parent board.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you so much. So, as Ben stated, Ed and I have been a part of this team for a lot of years. And a couple of years ago, parents, not just me, because this is definitely not just me, you guys know that, got together and thought we need to have a leader board to kind of help guide us and lead us and make the decisions for our team. And several parents stepped up and certainly really went above and beyond to create this community. And it's amazing. So, thank you all so much. So, along with the board, several members from all classes are on the board, and I want to acknowledge a few that have really gone above and beyond, and just to let you also acknowledge them with me. First of all, Darcy and Stephen Beans have been on the board for a few years. Thank you so much. They are involved in our hospitality, and so much with our tournament, so thank you so much. Abby and Mike Brand. Thank you so much, but Mike does so much with the scoreboard and helping with the tables. Abby's just everywhere, and we thank you so much for that. But she did a lot with the varsity, with their meals and food this year, and thank you so much for that. Shelly Garza is amazing. Thank you, Shelly. And she's keeping us where we need to be and when, and updating that, which changes all the time. So thank you so much. Michelle Pitstick, thank you so much for your tournament coordination. As Ben said, she hit the ground running with this tournament, and she has done it a few years in a row, and it's been a big job, and that's something that we so appreciate. Trisha Wilkins, we appreciate you so much for helping with the meals for the varsity team. Nick Walters, who's not here, did senior night, and that was a huge success, and that was so wonderful for her. Shelly Leader, we can't say enough thank yous to you for our hotel. People realize how much is involved in that, so thank you so much for that. Also, Shelly, you and Leah, thank you for helping with our home tailgate. That was a huge success and very fun. Nada and Peter and Bradbury, thank you for Nada did this, helped get this wonderful banquet going, and she was in charge of that, and we thank you so much for that, as well as all the senior activities and getting beautiful banners made and all the senior things. So thank you so much, and thank you so much to Peter for being our boosters rep and everything you've done for us. To Elisa Diezo is our treasurer, and thank you so much, Lisa. Christy Lindbergh, thank you for taking over our social media. Christina, that was Rebecca Brunswick, thank you again for all your JV food coordination and helping with all of that, the team organization with that. In addition, Amanda Mattern, thank you also for helping with all the team planning for freshman JV. It's been such a great help. Kristen and Eric hosted our gift giving party, and then Monica Young and Tommy Sedler did our awesome shirts. So thank you all so much. Parents that have just gone above and beyond and have always done so much for our team, and we can't even thank you enough. First of all, our photographers, you all, I can't even say, like, this is amazing. You all have captured our boys in their best, and also sometimes when they're not at their best. But we appreciate it so much, and you've given us a gift, and there's a gift that will be given to us for the rest of our lives. So thank you so much. We have a special gift for you. Please come up. And last but not least, on our team, on our board, and listing our parents. Our games are amazing and they're so much fun, but they are the way they are because of our awesome DJ. Thank you, Jason, for making our games so much fun, so much excitement. I love watching our boys dance, laugh, sing, and you've made it so enjoyable for all of us. So thank you for adding so much excitement to our games. Thank you to everyone else. I'm sorry if I left anybody out. Everybody in this parents in this community are so helpful, and it's just so great to know if it needs to be done, it's done. Freshman parents have stepped up like no other. Senior parents have done so much, and then between the juniors and the sophomores, it's amazing to see this community come together. So thank you all so much. Lastly, I have one thing. I wanted to just give a special thank you to all of the seniors and the senior parents. Your dedication and enthusiasm for this team has been unmatched. Your boys have been our role models, big brothers, cheerleaders, and friends to the younger guys that have come before you. Parents, you've been wonderful team leaders, hard workers, supporters, and friends to all of us over the last few years. We can't thank you enough for your commitment and to the water polo family and to all of us. So Ed and I have had a very special honor and a unique situation in that we have had the opportunity to be with you boys all 4 years of your water polo season. We are more than honored to have had all 3 of our boys play with you all 4 years. Your freshman year, our son was a senior, and he got to watch you as newbies and see you learn the game and learn the sport. He was one of your leaders showing you the ropes. Next was Carter, and he grew up in the sport with you all and got to play 3 years with you, and we got to see you through all of that. And now it's Spencer. Spencer and his teammates, and all of these younger boys before and after you, I think they probably have been the luckiest of all because they got to see you be their leaders and their big brothers. You've all done such an amazing job creating an amazing team culture. It's one that is hardworking, supportive, fun, encouraging, and loving. Thank you all, and thank you, parents, for all that you've done for our team over the last 4 years. And thank you for being our friends and our family, and we're going to miss you so much next year.
Thank you, Melissa, and one big round of applause, guys, for all your parents once again. Thank you. Okay. When I found out, talking to Dave and at the time our athletic director, Mr. Reinhardt, that I was going to have the opportunity to be a head coach, my immediate thought was not like, oh, good, okay, we're actually going to be okay with, oh my God, what a terrifying prospect. Yeah, we'll get there in a second. And my next thought was, there's no way I can do this alone. How do I get the people I need? So I just started reaching out as much as I could. I had noticed some things from getting to be the assistant coach that made it a lot easier. Very first thing was I didn't think we were quite fit enough at the end of the year. So I went right over to the swim department and hired as many swim coaches as I could get on board, and we were so blessed to have so many of them come on board. Dave Albert was an incredible resource in the school as both a coach on the deck, their morning practices every morning with us, and also as an interim in between us and the staff of the school. He did such an incredible job all year, so we're so thankful that Dave hit the town, unfortunately, but Dave Albert was my first hire, so thank you, Dave. And then I thought, well, I've been, around water polo for maybe 7 years now, so I can't really call myself an expert, and I didn't even know what the sport was the first 3. I can't pretend like I was well acquainted with it at that point. So, but right, I'm a goalie, to Jeff's dismay. So I thought, well, I really need a water polo mind. And Jeff, obviously, Owen had been at the school the year before, and Jeff had helped out a little bit. And I remember Jeff as my coach during my freshman year. He was there some of the time, mostly working with the older guys. And I was like, I've got to have him on board. And we had talked a couple times, and getting Jeff on board with us was the best thing that we could have done, because his ability to break down the game just combined so well with what we were trying to do here and what we were trying to teach these young guys. And I'm so appreciative for all the incredible work that he did for us this year. So, Jeff Carr. There you go. In addition to Dave, we also brought on board Jerry Vandenbrink, who I forgot that I was meeting and left him sitting in a bar for an hour because I completely forgot. And he called me and he was like, "Hey, are you close?" He figured it out. Yeah. He was like, "Hey, are you close?" And I was like, "What?" So I hustled over there to find him completely relaxed. Everything was fine. I told me there was no reason to worry. But he was so consistent with us. He showed up in the off season. He was there training with us before any of our other coaches, and was there in the afternoons giving us some work. I think did some good sets with Coach Vaughn. So we were so thankful to have him with us. He wasn't able to join us tonight, but Jerry Vandenbrink was another integral member of our staff. We were also blessed to get to have Zach Vogopol, who joined us in the mornings. when he was able to. He had to leave a little early for work, but he's one of your original guys, right? So yeah, so he was part of the first year of St. X water polo after it restarted in 2011, and was able to grace us with his coaching now. We also had Jim Brower and Pat Cluse, which rounds out all of our coaches who knew anything about water polo coaching before they came out. And then Dave recommended, he was like, there's a guy I want you to talk to. He doesn't know anything about water polo, but I think he's a really good guy. I think you need to talk to him. And I was like, all right, well, you know, and I need the help anywhere I can to get it. So he directed me to Carl Thompson. And Carl called me on the phone, and his first concern wasn't, you know, what am I going to be doing? What can I do for him? How can I set him up? It was, am I really going to be an asset to this group? And from that very first conversation, I knew 100% he was, because his attitude and the way that he presents himself to the guys, the way that he's able to connect with the guys, was so incredible from the very first day. He gets so much buy-in, and his words have so much power to our young men. And he understands sports more than, you know, it's not really about water polo. To some degree, you know, moving a ball is moving a ball, whether you're on ground or in the water. And he did such a fantastic job getting them fired up for the Thomas Worthington game. I've never seen these guys like that after listening to him. So it was a blessing to have Coach Thompson when we had him, and we're so thankful for his help this year. So, Coach Thompson. Darcy, I think you had a few words to say as well.
Okay, so I was asked to be up here just to represent all the parents for our coaches. So I wrote it down because I'm going to get emotional and I'll probably get to cry. Liam is making me cry. He's crying. But when we were sitting there as a board member and the curveball was we didn't have a coach. And we're like, we want a team. This is our senior boys. Like they love this sport. We want it for them. And then when Ben put his name in the hat, or someone threw his name in the hat, or somehow Ben got in the pool with them and decided to be the coach, we were so fortunate. These boys have really respected and admired and grown this season in a way that I did not expect when I was sitting there at the board meeting thinking, what the hell is going to happen the senior year with our boys? So I wrote this down because, and I put my glasses on, because I want to make sure I say what I want from our parents. We started the season with a curveball. The heavy load each of the coaches carried did not go unnoticed. Ben and Jeff, we appreciate everything that you did. The hours at St. X, at Rockford, at UA, at every other place that you really committed to this season. You role modeled men for others every day, and we are grateful. For me, personally, coaches are a very impactful role for our kids. They create an environment that shows our kids what it means to be a leader of a team. You guys are our seniors are going into college and jobs, and we've just got great role models for what it means to have a high-performing team. What was so amazing this season is that we didn't have one amazing player that everyone threw the ball to. We had 15 awesome players every time we went to the field, every time we went to the pool. 16, 20, 15, I don't know how many. But I appreciate that. What are you guys laughing at? So what
Sam 1, Sam 2, Sam 3.
This is awesome. But this is it. This is what high performance is about. It's about coaches and men for others, and you guys have this relationship. So what I really am in awe of is the positive impact that Ben, Jeff, Carl, Dave, Jerry, all the other names, Zach, I don't even know all the names of the coaches. I have them down here. Jim Brower, it did every day for our boys. We are in awe of the positive impact you made, and the results speak for themselves. I believe culture is critical and creates winning teams. Thank you coaches for creating this supportive environment. Ben, Jeff, and Pat, I wish he was here, you raised up each of these boys, expecting more of them every time they got in the water. And I cannot fathom the improvement that they made this year. They delivered, and you guys are the reason for that. I appreciate the commitment that Dave and the other swim coaches made, because I think that made our team faster and stronger. What I remember the most is the culture that the seniors committed to from your lock-in at the beginning. You empowered each and every one of the boys to create an environment that raised each other up, that supported, and made each other better. And the only way that you did that is because you have leaders that allowed it to happen. So I want to make sure we give these guys a round of applause, because we couldn't have done without.
I am truly honored and blessed to have been able to coach with these guys. I am so grateful for them. So thank you to all of them for their sacrifice this year. And I think now we can finally get to the time that these guys have been waiting for, an opportunity to recognize them for their incredible achievement, their growth as young men, their development as water polo players, and the first hardware brought home in quite a long time. Gentlemen, please do this. All right, so we're going to start with the presentation of the JV and varsity athletic awards. So we'll go class by class. We'll start with freshmen and work our way up. Unfortunately, there were 3 misprints on some of our JV forms. Those are getting reprinted on Monday and they'll be reissued. So a couple guys are not going to have their forms today. I apologize. We'll get them to you as quickly as we can. Okay? So how this is going to work, we're going to come up here. Coach will get you your award, and then we'll all line up. We'll get a picture of you as a class. We'll move on and we'll go to the next class. That makes sense to everybody? Okay. All right. Here we go, coaches. You want to? They should be in alphabetical order here. And then you stable it. Yeah. Stable hand about shaking hands. Freshman. First up, we have Gideon. Okay. St. Xavier Rollins for class of 2024. Nice job, guys. Our junior class for 2024. Oh, shocking. First on the list. Anybody got a question to boot? Liam B. George Bradbury. Charlie Cappy. Jared B-Mac. I tried to have this turn into a red card, but they wouldn't do it. Sam Gray. Eli Frank. Josh Garza. Lex Kaminsky. Will Moran. John Naylor. Charlie O. Thomas Pinstead. Ryan Sholes. And Petey Wilkins. I'm going to introduce you guys, but don't clear out right after the picture. I want to talk about you for a second. Our senior class of 2024. As a new coach, you have a lot of hopes and expectations for what you're going to do. And they really don't mean anything at all without the leadership of the guys on the team reflecting the ideals and the goals and the vision that you have. And I don't think it's possible for me to have been more blessed with the senior leaders that I got for this season. From day one, they reflected the vision and they were on board with exactly what we were doing. They knew that becoming young men and helping the rest of the team become young men of good quality was the most important thing that we do here. And they reflected it every day. They just did such an incredible job. Their leadership, their compassion for their team, their compassion for each other, and the love that they clearly share for the sport and the community was, I mean, it was just incredible. And I am so thankful to these guys for giving me a chance to work with them and for blessing this team with the bright future that you guys have been able to set up and hand out. So I'm truly thankful for our senior class of 2024. We're on to the awards for the evening. Good call. We are on to our awards at the late team ceremony. We're going to start with our JV, and we'll start with the awards that were voted on. So 2 weeks ago, maybe, I sent out messages to everybody, having them vote on Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and Most Improved Player, as well as there was one non-athletics related award for both groups that they voted on as well. So we're going to start off with those awards, and then we'll move on to the coach presented awards after that. So our JV Offensive Player of the Year is Gus Leader. Our defensive player of the year for the JV is Dom Walters. Our JV Most Valuable Player Award, Owen Carr. And our JV Most Improved Player is Nathan Birchner. Our JV Awards. Voted on awards. Here we go. Attention, some faces. Our varsity offensive player of the year, after getting the Triple Crown turn, 5-meter and goal in his last game, Thomas Pittston. Our defensive player of the year, Petey Wilkins. His first kick out wasn't when he got rolled. I see him come to the corner, I'm like, oh my God, it's over, Petey's done. And I'm like, Coach, that's his first one. It's the fourth quarter, that's not possible. No, seriously, that's his first one. You can't even yell, you're right, 4 quarters of the game. I mean, that was incredible. Congratulations. Our varsity most valuable player and most valuable red card, Sam Frank. I tried to, reach out to the block at UA to see if it had any comment on the punch, but it said they're just going to drop the charges and we're going to be all right. And the varsity most improved player this year, John Naylor. Yeah! Also, a thank you from the last year.
I'm gonna let you guys sit and think about it. So, hello. Yeah. So since Ben and I have been struggling with sickness with all of these boys all fall, he asked me to do a couple of these to take a little break from his boys. So I'm going to do the first award. I'm going to do is the Big Brother Award, and this award goes to one of the upperclassmen, one of the seniors who's been a great role model for the younger guys. And I can tell you, having been here in the beginning of this was the key to this program getting built. Was older guys showing younger guys how it's done, but not in a way that makes it feel like they're telling them what to do. They're just a teammate with them. They play with them. And in this case, we had one of the guys who decided this year he was going to play JV. He's a senior, and he wanted to play JV. And a lot of times when that happens, you may think you're going to get a player who just wants to dominate JV or come in and, kind of rule the pool, but he didn't do that. He was one of the leaders in the pool all the time. I particularly loved coaching him. He's very coachable. Every time he made a mistake, he'd look back, he knew he did it, he would work on it hard, and he was also very good at keeping, traveling and coaching any team of boys is hard, but when it skews freshmen and sophomores, it's a train wreck. So having a guy like this around, the boys can look up to model. I hope every single one of you guys takes from this that you want to be like this someday. You want to be a person like this person. And this award for Big Brother goes to Charlie Cassidy.
Mrs. Cerda gives out the Jose Cerda Award, the Cat 3 Jose Cerda Award. It is awarded to the player who has shown an extreme amount of dedication to the team and a desire for self and team improvement throughout the season. Having known Mrs. Cerda for a long time, had lunch with her, I have a pretty good relationship with her, and I've heard her describe her son many times. And words she describes are light to the team. She said he constantly elevated himself and others through hard work, dedication to his team and personal goals, and his love for his teammates. And I couldn't think of someone better than this player to embody that. You will never find this young man without a smile on his face. He could be having the worst day. And you look at him and you're like, hey man, are you good? Because he's just crushed by, school and maybe practice wasn't great. And he looks up and he gives you a grin and you feel like everything's gonna be all right. He's gonna be okay. He spends every moment in the pool working to better himself and to support a teammate. If he is not working on a skill for himself, he's finding somebody else saying, hey man, let's work on this together, let's grow. He's always reaching out, always taking care of the guys next to him. And above all, this young man is a friend and brother to his community. He goes above and beyond in terms of his desire and perseverance and uplifting and upholding what it means to be a man from St. X and what it means to be part of the water polo community. And for that reason, I'm so proud to give Liam B. So with a senior class that's the size that it is, a lot of times seasons don't go the way that you would always dream that they do. And we had to talk a lot. Coach Clues spoke with us, and within the team we spoke a lot about role, knowing your role and what your role is in the team, and when it's time to act on it, being ready to take that moment and being ready to step aside and give the next guy his opportunity when it is your time. And it's one thing to understand your role, it's one thing to embrace your role. And so this young man, from the very beginning, he understood his role on a team with 4 centers. There's going to be a hard time finding playing time for all 4 of them, especially when we go to a drop and don't drive, so none of the centers get to play at all. But from the very beginning, he didn't have any fight about that. He just put his nose down and he worked as hard as he could to make sure that when the moment did come, he was ready for it. And so not only did he understand his role, but he stepped in his role and he accepted it, because he came up to me the day before that last game and he said, Coach, if there's a moment tomorrow, I'm so ready for it. And it turned out that there was a moment where we needed this young man to step up and make a play. And all he needed was a minute or two. And that's what we discussed. We were like, hey man, this is the one thing I need you to do. Can you go do it? And he said, yes sir, I can. And he did such an incredible job of it. Charlie O'Connor.
So this award's called the Grit Award, and Ben and I we were talking about what that really means, right? And that word gets thrown around a lot these days. So last 10 years or so, everything's about grit. We have grit. But he reminded me when we were talking about the player I'm going to introduce here that what was the term? He just thugs it out every day. Thugs it out. And I started thinking, like, all of a sudden my synapses are firing. And I remember the 70s movie Slapshot with the hockey guys, the 3 brothers. And you just put them in to wreck the other guys, right? You put them in, and they're going to be out. They're going to hurt somebody. They're going to, it was a great movie. But that's the face that I see when I think of this person. And this person's a little scary. Sometimes we'd be sitting there in the morning, and I'd be drinking my coffee and then sniffling or whatever, and we're just surveying the pool, like, what do we got? And he just look over, he's like, man, he's a scary dude. I'm glad I'm not getting it today. He's a scary guy. And then one day we're walking through the hallway. He took me, and I forget why we were in the school. we see this young man in the hall. I walk up behind him and I give him a shove. He didn't go anywhere. In fact, I think when I shoved him, I went backwards. And he just looked at me. It just gives me this look, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I'm terrified. And I thought, I really like having this guy in the water against other teams. And he literally terrifies me. You just watch him. Now, I was trying to think of a nickname for him, and I think I would call him Undertow, because he didn't play really high in the water. He's kind of just down in there, but man, if you get in this guy's undertow, your toes, like you get dragged off and eaten by sharks, right? But then we also knew at the beginning here, as it kept kind of working on where we're going to end up, we're like, this guy's going to make a big difference when we get to the end, when we get to the state final. He's going to score and kickouts, and he's going to be able to play longer than we think he can play as a big, huge, hulking, bulky guy. So Ryan Jones, one of my favorite players, and I'm glad to give him this thing of
So our last one, as always, is going to be the Doxy Men for Others Award. It is our highest calling as coaches. It is the formulation of young men. They entrust athletes with us, and they don't tell us, hey, we need great water polo players to come out of this. They say, we need great young men to come out, and if they happen to be good at water polo, that's awesome. And it is the best thing that happened to me when I went through this program, and so when I came in as coach, it was, hey, this is the thing that I really want to make happen, is help these guys develop into young men. And for that reason, this is my favorite award. This young man, his willingness to self-sacrifice, to support his community and his team is truly impressive. He consistently puts his own needs and own issues aside in order to make sure that what's happening in water, whether that be from something that the coaches have said or something that we have going on at play that we're trying to develop, he's always the first guy to say, hey guys, it doesn't matter how we feel about this, is what we're doing. His leadership, his natural talent for leadership is just incredible. He's willing to speak up when he doesn't think something's right. He's coming up to us and saying, hey man, I don't think this was handled properly, which is hard to do. It is hard to come up to somebody who's in a position of power above you and say, hey, I don't think this is right. And he was so willing to do that. And his ability to just step into a leadership role when it was eventually given to him by his teammates was truly impressive. He is a cornerstone of this team, and I am so incredibly proud of the young man that he has become, Jaron Beatman. Us to the conclusion of everything that I have planned. If I'm missing something drastic, somebody raise a hand and give me a shout. But I think we're doing okay. In terms of time, I hit it right on the spot, so we're in a good place. I am so thankful for the opportunity I was given this year. Oh, that's right. We do have something. Thank you for raising your hand. Sam Frank, would you care to take the mic?
So, for those of you who don't know, Cat 10 is a thing that's going to pass down through this program. It's supposed to represent a leader and someone who's there for their teammates, someone who's committed to the sport and just cares a lot about the guys and the community that we're building here. So, I took a long look at my junior class, rising seniors now, and I thought, who best to pass this on to? And usually, it's a pretty prestigious thing, and it's a 4-year player. But this year it's a little different, because this guy has been playing for 7, almost 8 years now. So I'm happy to say and announce that next year's Cat 10 is Dan Aarons. Yeah!
Coaches, do you have anything you want to say?
Hi, I'm Carl Thompson. Most of you parents don't know me because I'm Coach Minimal. I was only able to show up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. I knew absolutely nothing about water polo when I joined, and I still don't know much about water polo, so I was validated with Ben that it took him 3 years. He's kind of slow, so I'm thinking maybe 2 for me. But I'm minimal in my time, I'm minimal in my information and my wisdom in water polo. I'm the oldest guy on the staff, so it's a tale of 2 cities for me. But it's about connections, and I just want to say something about connections. Because as I look around the room, way more connections than the minimal time that I was able to put in. One, I taught Dave Albert. I was a teacher here for 12 years, some years ago. Dave Albert was a student of mine. It's a strong connection. Same with Zach Vogelpohl. I was here when Zach was here as a student as well. Charlie O'Connor. I see Charlie, he comes up to me my second day of practice. He was like, hey, I was at your son's 4th birthday. So Jonas was 4, he's a class of 25, senior with these guys. And that was a connection. And sure enough, we were able to go home and call for a picture of Charlie and Jonas. We threw a big party for Jonas. It was here on these grounds. And he still gives us some credit for attracting him to St. X for that party. But Jonas and Charlie went to preschool together. Another connection that's pretty dear, and I still consider him somewhat of a son. I do. Lex Kaminsky. Jonas and Lex were super tight when we lived in Cincinnati. They were on the same relay team. They swam together. They hung out. They were inseparable. And we moved to California, and we did not lose touch with these guys. And when we came back, and Jonas was going to be a freshman here, and find out that Lex was going to come to school here, I was thrilled. Also, Kaino Adachi was part of that quad of kids that hung out. And so this is about connections. If our North Star is what kind of people we ought to be, and the manner in which we become that, this team exemplifies that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be a part of it. And as the last time I was involved with St. X, I coached lacrosse here and swimming here and taught here for 12 years, I got more out of it than I put in. And again, I got more out of it, guys, than I was able to put in. I'm grateful for being a part of it. And hope to see you guys around the rest of the year. It's a big year, and I can't tell you how moved I am by who you were. I've been a lacrosse coach for 15 years. The toughness of water polo is like next level, man. So kudos to all you guys, and thanks for letting me be a part of it. Thanks. I'm going to say some nice things about Dawson, but he pointed out he wants to be done by 6, so I'm just kind of torn here on how long I can go. So I'm going to keep this kind of brief. But so from the first day this year, this is officially my 8th season doing this, right? 11 to 16, and then starting last year, as Ben said, this year. I played this game since I was 13 years old. Through college, I still play, and I told Ben, maybe halfway through the season, there was always stuff to worry about, right? But I told Ben, this has absolutely been the most perfect partnership I've had with somebody coaching. Even better than I've had with players that I've played with. You guys need to understand what a great job he did stepping into this role, and I want you guys to also, remember, Ben's not that much older than you guys. I forgot all year long. When I talked to him, I never felt 30 years difference almost. And I never felt like that. To all the parents, he was an extremely, both of us are immature as all get out. But that's for the public face of it. But I've never seen a guy, Ben, honestly, that has stepped into a role like this at your age and had the wisdom that you had, the ability to lead these boys. And this has been the best year of coaching I've had. That extends to you guys as well. This is when you seniors were standing up there. I remember a lot of the seniors from the other classes. I remember every single one of you guys. This has been a great year. Every single one of you we struggled with how many awards to have because we feel like we could have come up with, especially for the seniors, but everybody
an award for each one of you. You're each different in your own way, and like we love talking about you guys. I'll give you guys tons of shit for sure, but each one of you has something that we love that we're never going to forget. And this has been a really good season. This is one of those seasons you're going to remember, not just because you guys finally brought back the hardware. But this is a great group of guys, and I've been really privileged to coach, and I've been really privileged to coach with Ben. And we all know Ben's going to go off and undertake something that most of us will never even attempt to do. Most people never even attempt to do, much less end up being successful when he goes to Buds to be a Navy SEAL. And as we talked about it throughout the season, we've had a lot of conversations what it will be like, how you get through it. And he's going to want to know that every single one of you guys are working just as hard as he's working when he's going through that. And I want to make sure all of you guys let him know that. The season's over, but we got to be pulling for this guy because we should all be really proud of the what he's going to do. Okay?